Tonight, I wanted to do a quick video. My videos are never quick. Actually, it's so funny. I always think I'm going to do a quick video, and it turns out that my videos end up lasting for longer than I think they're going to last. But I have had a very strange day. I just have to tell you, experience-wise, and I did not think I would be making a video about this, but as always, I want to share with you that even as someone who is experienced and who has had as many experiences as I have had, even as someone like that, I still struggle, and it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have difficulty doing this if this is what you've been trying to do. I don't know where to start with this. It's interesting because it's not that I haven't had experiences this weekend or specifically today. It's that I've had such strange, unusual, very brief experiences that have been a little bit frustrating for me. And I have to tell you, if I'm being real with you right now, I am frustrated, and I don't even know if I have the right to be frustrated about this at this point, because I know so many people struggle with just raising their vibrational frequency. And I feel sometimes like I'm complaining about something that I shouldn't be complaining about, because there are people that aren't experiencing anything, and yet I am able to experience things. And perhaps that's another reason why I'm doing this video, because I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head. I didn't think too much about it other than to share these very brief experiences, including, by the way, I will be sharing a dream that I had that was unusual. But the reason why I want to share this dream with you is because I want you to understand how important your subconscious mind is to all of this. Now, I don't understand it completely. By the way, I am always the first person to say that there are so many things that I don't understand. And I always want you to know this. I want you to understand this. There is so much that I don't understand about this. But I do know, I think I can really put my finger on this, that the subconscious mind has a lot to do with what's happening with astral projection and other things. It plays a very large part in all this. I don't know what that part is, but what I do know is that when my experiences began to be enhanced, in other words, when I began to have these beyond body experiences, these other kinds of experiences, my subconscious mind just seemed to kick into overdrive. My dreams became much clearer, and my subconscious mind, when it reaches out to me, it communicates to me quite clearly. I understand exactly what it's saying. Let me get into this. This is going to be a dream and two very strange experiences that I had today, very brief experiences. The dream actually is the longest experience that I had. It was a dream, and it was not a lucid dream. It was a very strange dream. In the dream, the part that I remember about it was that I was in an apartment, and there was someone knocking at my door. I was able to see through the peephole, and when I looked at the peephole, it looked like there was someone wearing a police uniform, but I knew that they weren't. I knew that they were not the police. There were two people, actually. There was one person that was knocking on the door, and there was another person that was behind the door. And I knew in the dream that this person was not a real police officer. So I remember going into the kitchen, and I grabbed... Now, you understand something about me. I am not a gun person. I really am not. I am not a gun person. I honestly don't even like guns. I don't. But in this instance, there seemed to be a gun in a drawer in my kitchen. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why it was there. Again, this is a dream. Dreams are strange and chaotic. So I grabbed the gun. It was a small gun, but I could feel the weight of the gun. And it's so interesting because the guys that were at the door, that were knocking and pounding on the door, they were able to basically push their way in. And I remember I pointed the gun at them as they were coming at me. And I remember I started shooting at them. But when I shot at the guy, he wasn't going down. He just kept going. It was like a nightmare, sort of like a scary movie, Night of the Living Dead or something, where you're shooting at someone and they're not going down and they're not dying. And I'm thinking, why isn't this person dying? Why isn't this person going down? So I am able to, at some point, escape from this person. Now, again, dreams are so odd. They're so strange. I think I was able to run through my apartment, but then from my apartment, I was in like a mall or something like that. And then I was pleading with people to help me because these guys were coming at me. And I could barely talk. I could barely get my voice out. Again, classic kind of a nightmarish sort of a dream, but so interesting because in my mind, really what the dream meant, and I was really thinking about this, really considering this today, was all of the things that were that are happening in the world. I remember that these people seemed to be bigger than me, and they were coming at me, and it's so interesting because their size, I think, mattered. And the fact that bullets didn't hurt them mattered. I think that without getting into specifics, because this is not a channel about politics, I have watched world events and I've felt completely helpless about certain things that have been happening in the world. And I think that's what this was all about. It was like, I felt helpless as I was shooting at these people, trying to stop them. But these were the events that I wish that I could, put down, and I wasn't able to do it. I didn't have any control over it. And my subconscious mind, I believe, was reaching out to me, trying to tell me that. So I believe that that was the dream. But let me get on to the two experiences that I had. I had two beyond body experiences. The first one was in the middle of the night, early Sunday morning, I guess, probably 3:30 in the morning. And I had storm sounds on, and I remember I felt that sensation, but I didn't really go anywhere too far. And I remember at one point, it was darkness, and as always, that darkness begins to lift at some point. And as the darkness was lifting, I was looking at a screen, and in the screen, I saw an apartment building. It was massive, and there were cameras everywhere in this apartment building. And then suddenly, I went from looking at the screen to actually being in the apartment building. Just suddenly, I was there. And I remember at one point, I started to, because I was thinking, could I fly? Again, I always think about this with the beyond body. Am I able to fly? Am I able to float? Am I able to do anything? And of course, in this instance, I was able to do it. I jumped off the ground and I started to float into the air. Now, in the middle of this, the experience ended. And I was so frustrated. I was like, what is this? I opened my eyes. I'm like, I just started the experience. I was in this massive complex. There were all these cameras everywhere. I don't know what the cameras were all about, but, and I could fly, and this was really cool. And then it ended. So that was the first experience. But let me tell you about the second one, because this was interesting too. Now, in this experience, I really set out to go ahead and do it. This wasn't like a thing where I was like, well, maybe will or maybe it won't. And usually when I'm serious about this, and by the way, I should give you guys a tip because this seems to work for me. Now, of course, I've been using that imagery where I think about the third eye, glowing. So I've been using that. So I should tell you that. But the other thing is, this was another time where I did not use sounds. On the second experience, I didn't use anything. It was just silence. And I laid down. It was in the afternoon. And at some point, I felt a presence with me. And I think I was communicating with the presence. Now, this was not beyond body immediately, or at least I don't think it was. But I was in contact with the presence. What that actual contact was, I'm not 100% certain. But I remember at one point, I just thought, okay, I want to go and I want to see something. So I felt that familiar movement toward going off the bed, right? Because I've told you guys about that before. I've told you guys that there are times, I feel the motion, and then sometimes I'll feel a change in direction, and sometimes I'll feel as if I'm literally going off the bed. And I felt that sensation. I felt as if I went off the side of the bed. Well, as soon as I did that, I heard a sound. It was a plane. It was passing over my apartment building. Oh my God. I opened my eyes and I was back. I didn't even get to go anywhere. I don't know what the connection was with this being. Perhaps it was profound, the one that I had before I attempted to go somewhere. But I just have to tell you, it's just been a weird day for me, beyond body wise, and not accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. But I guess that's not always how it works. And I don't know. Sometimes we want to do things, and I should speak for myself. Sometimes I want to do things. There's certain things I want to do, and I don't get to do those things. I have goals, like I want to go, I've talked about wanting to go to Saturn and see that, and I haven't been able to do that yet. And yeah, there are times when I'm like frustrated with my guides going, well, why aren't I able to do this? But I know that they have their reasons. I do. I understand. Anyway, I just wanted to go through this day with you. It was a weird day, but yes, I do get frustrated. And I'm just kind of saying to you, hang in there. Hang in there, it'll come. If you really, truly desire this thing, I believe you will accomplish it. You will achieve separation. You will leave your body. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.